Look at that. The power, the agility, the sheer athleticism. You watch these players at the Cincinnati Open, and it's inspiring. They're pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. But if you're anything like me, there's another thought that creeps in right after the inspiration. You get up from the couch after a match, and you feel that little twinge. Maybe for you, it's not just a twinge. Maybe it's a constant, dull ache that's become the background music of your life. It's the reason you said no to that pickup basketball game. It's the hesitation you feel before you chase your kids or grandkids across the yard. It's that voice in the back of your head wondering if this is it, if this is just what getting older feels like. Your body's check engine light is on, and you've been trying to ignore it. But what if I told you that you don't have to? In this video, I'm not going to give you some generic, useless advice. I'm going to give you 5 specific, actionable strategies, the same principles used by elite athletes to protect their multi-million-dollar joints, that you can start using today to bulletproof your own. And I'll make you a promise right now. If you stick with me to the very end, the 5th and final tip is an absolute game changer. It's something most physical therapists and doctors don't even talk about until you're already in their office with a serious injury. Honestly, it could be the single most important thing you do for your joint health this entire year. So grab a water, get comfortable, and let's talk about how to turn back the clock on your joints. Way number 1, the pre-match protocol. Alright, let's start with mistake number 1 that almost all of us make. Think back to high school gym class. What was the first thing the coach had you do? Probably stand there, grab your foot, and pull it towards your butt for 30 seconds, right? We did our quad stretches, our hamstring stretches. We thought we were preventing injuries. Here's the hard truth. We were wrong. Or at least, we were doing the right thing at the wrong time. That kind of stretching, where you hold a position for an extended period, is called static stretching. For decades, it was the gold standard. But modern sports science has shown us that doing long, static stretches, time before times an activity, can actually decrease your power output and may not even reduce your risk of injury. It essentially tells your muscles to relax and lengthen, the exact opposite of what you want them to do before they need to be strong and reactive. So what are the pros doing? When you see a player like Djokovic or Alcaraz courtside before a match at the Cincinnati Open, they aren't holding static poses. They are asterisk moving. You'll see leg swings, torso twists, high knees, butt kicks. This is called dynamic stretching. Instead of telling the muscle to go to sleep, a dynamic warm-up is like a wake-up call for your entire body. It gradually increases your heart rate, pumps blood to the muscles you're about to use, and this is key for joint health. It stimulates the production of synovial fluid. Think of synovial fluid as the oil for your joints. It's what lubricates the cartilage in your knees, hips, and shoulders, allowing them to glide smoothly without friction. A cold, unlubricated joint is a recipe for disaster. So from now on, your pre-activity routine, whether it's for a round of golf, a tennis match, or even just a long day of yard work, needs to be dynamic. Here are 3 simple ones you can do anywhere. Just 5 minutes of this pre-match protocol will make a world of difference. You're sending a clear signal to your body, it's time to work. Way number 2, build the armor. I want you to think about your body like a high-performance car for a second. Your joints, your knees, your hips, they're the suspension system. They're designed to absorb shock. But what supports the suspension? The chassis, the frame of the car. Your muscles are your body's chassis. If the frame of that car is weak, flimsy, and rusted out, the suspension is going to take a brutal beating on every single bump in the road. Eventually, it's going to fail. For many of us over 40, our chassis has been letting our suspension down for years. Your joints are fundamentally passive structures. Your knee joint, for example, is just bone, cartilage, and ligaments. It has no ability to stabilize itself. It relies completely on the muscles that surround it, your quadriceps in the front, your hamstrings in the back, and most importantly, your glutes. When those muscles are weak, every step you take, every time you squat down, you're putting immense shearing and compressive forces directly onto the delicate cartilage and ligaments inside the knee. Now look at the legs of the players at the Cincinnati Open. They're not just for show. That muscle is armor. It's a sophisticated biological shock-absorbing system that protects the delicate structures within the joint. So our job is to build our own armor. And I'm not talking about spending 2 hours in the gym trying to set a new deadlift record. I'm talking about smart, targeted strength training focused on the muscles that protect your joints. Here are 3 foundational exercises. First, the goblet squat. Forget loading up a barbell. Grab 1 dumbbell or a kettlebell and hold it against your chest. With your feet shoulder-width apart, squat down as if you're sitting in a chair. Holding the weight in front forces you to keep your chest up and your core engaged, teaching you perfect squat form. This strengthens your quads, hamstrings, and glutes all at once. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Second, the glute bridge. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips off the floor until your body forms a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Hold for a second at the top, squeezing hard, then lower back down. Your glutes are the most powerful muscles in your body and the #1 protector of your knees and lower back. Most men have incredibly weak, inactive glutes from sitting all day. This exercise wakes them up. Do 3 sets of 15 reps. Third, banded lateral walks. Put a resistance band around your ankles or just above your knees. Get into a slight squat position and take slow, controlled steps sideways. You'll feel a burn on the outside of your hips. That's your gluteus medius, a key stabilizing muscle that prevents your knee from caving inward. Do 10 to 15 steps in one direction, then 10 to 15 back. That's 1 set. Do 3. This isn't about getting huge. It's about building functional armor that will take the load off your joints and put it onto the muscle, where it belongs. Way number 3, the nutrition blueprint. You wouldn't put cheap 87-octane fuel filled with sugar and water into a Ferrari engine, would you? You'd give it the highest quality, premium fuel to make it run its best. So why are so many of us fueling our high-performance bodies with things that actively cause damage? One of the biggest drivers of joint pain, especially as we get older, is chronic, low-grade inflammation. Think of inflammation as your body's natural response to injury. It's a good thing in the short term, but when your body is constantly inflamed due to stress, lack of sleep, and especially a poor diet, that inflammatory process starts to attack healthy tissue, including the cartilage in your joints. It's like having a slow, simmering fire burning inside you all the time. An athlete's diet is a strategic tool. It's designed to manage inflammation and speed up recovery. We need to adopt the same mindset. We need to feed our cartilage and starve our inflammation. Let's start with what to add to your diet. Your new best friend is omega-3 fatty acids. These are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. You'll find them in fatty fish like salmon, as well as in walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Try to get 2 servings of fatty fish a week. Swap your afternoon bag of chips for a handful of walnuts. Next, eat the rainbow. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables, especially dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, and berries like blueberries and strawberries, are packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation. Also, start using spices like turmeric and ginger. Turmeric contains curcumin, which is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories on the planet. Add a sprinkle to your eggs or a smoothie. Now, for what to reduce. This is the hard part. The #1 enemy is sugar. Sugar is rocket fuel for inflammation. That includes soda, candy, pastries, but also hidden sugars in things like ketchup and salad dressings. The second enemy is refined carbohydrates, things like white bread, white pasta, and white rice. Your body treats them just like sugar. Finally, you need to hydrate. Your cartilage is like a sponge. It's mostly water. When you're dehydrated, that sponge shrivels up, and it loses its ability to cushion your joints. Aim for at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you weigh 200 pounds, that's 100 ounces of water. You can't out-train a bad diet. Fueling your body correctly is just as important as any exercise you do. Way number 4, the recovery playbook. What do you think is the biggest mistake that separates amateurs from professionals? It's not how hard they work in the gym. It's how seriously they take their recovery. Most of us think the workout ends when we walk out of the gym or off the court. We go home, collapse on the couch, and call it a day. For the pros, that's when the most important part of their training actually begins. Muscle growth, tissue repair, and all the positive adaptations from exercise happen during periods of rest, not during the workout itself. The workout is the stimulus that breaks the body down. The recovery is what builds it back stronger. After a grueling 5-set match in the Cincinnati Heat, a player doesn't just go crash in a hotel bed. They are on a stationary bike for a light cool-down spin. They're getting soft tissue work from a trainer. They're meticulously rehydrating and refueling. They are actively managing their recovery. We need to do the same. First, embrace active recovery. The day after a particularly tough workout or a long weekend of activities, the worst thing you can do is be a complete statue. That leads to stiffness and prolonged soreness. Instead, go for a 20-minute walk. Do some of those dynamic stretches we talked about earlier. Go for a light swim. This gentle movement helps increase blood flow, which flushes out metabolic waste products from your muscles and delivers fresh nutrients to help them repair. Second, and this is non-negotiable, you must prioritize sleep. Sleep is the most powerful performance-enhancing tissue-repairing drug on the planet, and it's free. When you're in the deeper stages of sleep, your body releases a flood of human growth hormone, which is essential for repairing damaged tissues, including the cartilage in your joints. Getting 5 or 6 hours of broken sleep a night is robbing your body of its prime repair time. You need to aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep. Make your room dark, keep it cool, and shut off screens an hour before bed. It is more powerful than any supplement you can buy. Finally, consider getting a foam roller. Using a foam roller on your major muscle groups like your quads, hamstrings, and calves can help release muscle tightness. Tight muscles constantly pull on the tendons that attach to your joints, creating chronic stress. 5 minutes of foam rolling before bed can make a huge difference in how you feel the next morning. Recovery isn't a passive activity. It's an active strategy. Okay, we've made it to number 5. And I promised you this was the one that changes everything. You can do all the dynamic warm-ups in the world. You can build all the muscle armor you want. You can eat a perfect anti-inflammatory diet and get 8 hours of sleep every night. But if you are still moving incorrectly in your day-to-day life, you are fighting a losing battle. It's like meticulously fixing a flat tire on your car, only to immediately drive over the exact same nail again. And again, and again. You're constantly re-injuring yourself with every step you take. This is about biomechanics and neuromuscular control. It's not stumps what you do, but how you do it. Over decades, our brains develop faulty movement patterns. We get lazy. We compensate. We start bending over by rounding our lower back instead of using our powerful hips. We let our knees collapse inward when we squat down to pick something up. Every single movement a pro makes on that court is the result of millions of repetitions of perfect, efficient form. Their brain is hardwired to move safely. We need to consciously rewire our own brains to do the same. I'm going to teach you 2 master cues that you need to burn into your brain. The first is the hip hinge. This is the master movement for protecting your lower back and your knees. From now on, every time you bend down to pick something up, whether it's a heavy box or just the newspaper, I want you to hinge at your hips, not your back. Here's how you practice it. Stand with your back about 6 inches from a wall. Keeping your back perfectly straight, I want you to push your butt backward until it taps the wall. Your shins should stay vertical. Notice how your hamstrings load up. That's you using your powerful posterior chain instead of your vulnerable spine. Practice this every day. The second master cue is knees out. One of the most destructive movement patterns for the knee is called knee valgus. That's when your knee caves inward. It puts tremendous strain on the ligaments on the inside of your knee. So from now on, whenever you squat down, I want you to actively think knees out. As you descend, actively push your knees apart slightly, tracking them over your feet. This simple cue forces you to engage your glutes, which stabilizes your entire leg and protects your knee joint. This is my challenge to you. For 1 week, be obsessively mindful of how you move. Every time you bend down, practice the hip hinge. Every time you squat, think knees out. It will feel strange and robotic at first. That